Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money channel. Brad Garlinghouse on Twitter posting this yesterday. The US may be moving backwards, but I like to focus on the positive. In the last few months, the EU, UK, and the UAE all moved forward with their new regulatory frameworks and regimes for crypto activities. Read on in our markets report for more, guys. And Ripple's Q1 2023 XRP markets report is live. This was posted by Ripple's official Twitter handle, detailing important events in crypto and the broader financial markets in Q1, global regulatory progress, a vibrant community building on the XRP ledger, and the latest technical updates on the XRPL. So we got the markets report here. I will link this in the description of the video for you guys if you want to read, in full detail. There's a lot of, a lot to unpack here, a lot of numbers, a lot of sales figures. Just to kind of give you guys some of the highlights from yesterday's report. Leonidas here bringing this up. So Q1 markets report is out. Here's a table I keep up to date if you want to take a look at Ripple's sales and purchases since the report started coming out in 2017. So looking at net sales and purchases, the percentage, total sales and volume, guys, and look at how that has increased over the last 6 years. Again, this was he started doing this back in Q3 of 2017, as soon as they started releasing the reports, and only 0.2% of volume. That's what accounted for total sales back then. We fast forward to today, and we're upwards near 0.5 percentage point. So certainly a fluctuation, as you guys can see, throughout 2020 during the beer flu. This is when we really started ramping up. Q3 of 2021. We got into 0.25%, then 0.43%, and in 2021, we maintained the number fairly well, and then finally, Q1 2023, 0.44%. So we're seeing the sales increase, we're seeing volume increase. Obviously, on-demand liquidity is increasing. So an interesting little chart here provided by Leonidas, his own creation. Wanted to thank him for posting that. Michael also bringing us an article just kind of outlining some of the key takeaways from the report. Okay, Ripple releases their Q1 2023 XRP markets report. And guys, here are some of the key takeaways. So in bullet point form, total XRP sales by Ripple were 361.06 million compared to 226.3 million in the previous quarter. Ripple continues to sell XRP only in connection with ODL transactions and has been sourcing XRP from the open market since 2020 to ensure there is sufficient supply for its growing ODL business. So, they're doing the responsible thing, being transparent and open on how they are sourcing the particular XRP. On-chain activity on the XRPL remains strong, with transactions increasing 9% to 116 million compared to the previous quarter. NFTs continue to drive activity. So that's the other thing, right? We're seeing more verticals, so we're definitely going to see more utility for those facets of the company. So it says NFTs continue to drive activity, and over 1 million assets have been minted on the ledger since XLS 20 went live on the mainnet. BITRUE, the leading crypto exchange in Latin America, announced that it had surpassed $3.3 billion in transactions between the United States and Mexico alone in 2022 through its institutional crypto solutions using Ripple's ODL products. So 3.3 billion in transactions alone using ODL. And that's just Mexico to US in 2022, guys. So you got to think, expanding this out globally, how much utility there's really going to be. The EU, the UK, and the UAE propose new regulatory regimes, which is what Brad Garlinghouse was mentioning, which could provide clarity for the industry. The EU's final vote on the markets and crypto regulation, or the MiCA, that did just pass on April the 20th. The UK government introduced comprehensive regulatory proposals for the new regulatory regime for crypto. In the Middle East, the UAE passed a new law governing virtual assets, setting up the country's initial regulatory regime for cryptocurrencies at a federal level. So these countries are already, looking towards a comprehensive strategy and a regulatory approach for cryptocurrencies. Meanwhile, I don't have to tell you. You guys probably know, especially if you live in the United States, where we stand with the SEC. I just did an updated video this morning outlining the Coinbase story and Caitlin Long's opinion about what happened to her, the smoking gun. If you guys didn't catch that, I will link it up here in the top right-hand corner. Despite broader financial turmoil, XRP markets remain resilient, with volumes up 46% quarter over quarter. So that's good news too. Bitcoin and Ethereum spot volumes were up 12% and down 12% respectively, quarter over quarter. However, derivatives volumes tell a different story, with Bitcoin and Ethereum up 14 and 20% respectively. A new interoperability standard, the XLS 38D, was proposed by XRP ledger developers. The proposed standard aims to enable the transfer of digital assets and data between different blockchains regardless of the underlying protocol or programming language that is used. So a new step for interoperability, of course, XLS 30D. The thing that Wrath of Kahneman notes here with regards to ODL, he says it looks healthy enough in this report despite the banking crisis. So, putting it on the backdrop of what's actually happening in the United States right now, and I mean, it's really worldwide, because it's not just U.S. banks that are trying to hold it together. He goes on to say, but the report makes some interesting mentions to the impact on ODL, which are not fully fleshed out. So what can we infer from that? First, notice the brief mention of ODL disruption. The big news of the quarter was the banking crisis and the negative impact of crypto liquidity, which also led to some disruption to liquidity available for ODL, though customer flows recovered quickly. Second, discussing XRP sales, they note, due to the circumstances of the banking crisis, Ripple stopped purchasing XRP for several days due to the disruption. It has since resumed. So he's just posting a screen grab of that, them mentioning that. Lastly, recall that in the midst of the SVC drama, Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse noted that they did have some exposure to Silicon Valley Bank. So how might that have affected ODL XRP purchases? It's not immediately clarified, but it is again something to make note of. The simplest explanation is that Ripple used an SVB account to purchase XRP back off the market. Is that the only explanation? Not worrisome, but it is interesting. Pointing this out because there seems to be something to be learned here, either about ODL or how Ripple works. So again, great insight here from the Wrath of Kahneman, and I will link this tweet thread in the description if you want to jump in on the conversation. I mean, on the surface, the market report looks very good. Sales are increasing steadily. Utility looks like ODL utility is also increasing steadily, and that would be congruent with the new partnerships we've been hearing about, the ramping up of older partnerships, right? The $3.3 billion in ODL volume from the Bitso exchange, for example. We did hear about that either last week or the week before. And again, that's just one corridor, Mexico to the United States in 2022, $3.3 billion. So Bitso was proud to announce that. So guys, everything is looking pretty good for XRP and XRPL development. There's also the automated market maker protocol. This is from Crypto Insight here on Twitter. This looks cool AF. XRP hodlers, get ready to be able to be a liquidity provider and earn some passive income. Retweeting a Krippenreiter's tweet here, if it wasn't clear by now, the XLS 30D amendment, AMM, automated market maker, is on its way and getting closer. While the code is being audited, you can already play with it on DevNet. So this is what the layout looks like here, just has a screen grab here. But he does also post a link in this, so I will link this in the description. The XRPL's future is looking promising. The XRPL DEX will receive an important upgrade. And Steve just asking here, what wallet do you hold your XRP in to allow you to engage with the XRP ledger and these benefits for the future? And Crypto Insight UK responded, you will be able to do this directly on the XRPL as an obvious presumption. Also, the Sum wallet, I would imagine, would have the integration capabilities there. I imagine third parties will create the UX or UI, the interface, to make it more friendly for idiots like me, similar to that of Uniswap and PancakeSwap, etc. Wallet integration is, in fact, a good question. We will still need a generic wallet, something like MetaMask. However, that kind of introduces more centralization issues. I rarely interact with the native XRP ledger. In fact, I've only used the DEX a handful of times. So, there is still going to be some kinks that need to be worked out. The interface, right? You need to make it easy for people, kind of like how, when you're... what am I looking for here? When you're wrapping, right? Wrapping and delegating Flare tokens, for example. If you use the Bifrost wallet as one example, it's very easy to use. It's seamless for somebody who doesn't really know the ins and outs of how the thing works. So you have to have that user interface that's seamless in order for people to do this easily or to be able to do this easily. So this is just the first step in that direction. Wanted to thank Crypto Insight UK and Krippenreiter here just for posting that. Guys, I also happen to see this coming out of Australia. Ripple partner Airwallex is now looking to offer mobile payment services to China. Huge partnership here. So Airwallex will provide Chinese companies with cross-border payment services now that the Australian financial services firm has acquired a third-party payment business license in China. The chief revenue officer did report Airwallex will leverage its worldwide network to offer small and medium-sized Chinese companies with lower costs but higher quality services and bring Chinese products and services to the rest of the world. Guys, all going through Ripple partnered Airwallex. Last month, the Melbourne-based company took over Gazhou Shangwutong Network Technology, an information services and logistics provider with a business license for third-party payments. U.S. fintech giant PayPal is the only other foreign company with a licensed mobile payment platform in China. So we had PayPal in China. Now we have Airwallex guys in China with that license in order to be able to help Chinese businesses transact with DLT technology. And just down here, it says Airwallex can help different types of companies at varied stages of development to build their business globally in a more self-sufficient and convenient way. Established in 2015, Airwallex processes more than $50 billion US in transactions, and that was just last year alone. So that was just for 2022. Its global payment network covers up to 150 countries and regions, including Hong Kong, the UK, the US, New Zealand, Malaysia, and Singapore. They're also looking to develop a new product which will improve global fund flows and plans to expand to more markets such as Canada, Japan, Latin America, and the Middle East. So Airwallex guys looking to really hit it out of the park. And guys, I think this is a huge partnership. This is a huge opportunity for Ripple-enabled Airwallex looking to provide Chinese companies with cross-border services now that they have their brand new shiny Chinese license. So boom, more utility there through Ripple partner Airwallex. Not to mention we're seeing Visa guys staffing up. They're staffing up for what is being dubbed here as ambitious crypto plans. So Visa on the hunt for senior software engineers for an ambitious crypto product roadmap that will drive mainstream adoption to public blockchain networks and stablecoin payments. So it's looking like all these big guys are getting on board. They're realizing the importance of crypto adoption, DLT adoption. Visa obviously doesn't want to sit back on their laurels and follow the trend. As you guys know, or maybe you don't know, Visa did purchase the fintech company Earthport for $257 million back in 2019. The deal was finalized in 2020. And to give you guys more context, Earthport has been Ripple-enabled since 2014. Okay, back in December of 2014, Ripple Labs and Earthport did announce their global partnership. Well, now Visa is looking to leverage that. The payment giant's head of crypto, Guy Sheffield, posted about the job openings on Twitter. They need Web3 software engineers. It says down here they've been aggressively exploring cryptocurrencies, blockchain, and Web3 despite the regulatory uncertainty surrounding the technology. So this sounds to me like, even though they do plan on rolling out eventually in the United States, they realize there are roadblocks right now, but that's not stopping them. And obviously, Visa is a worldwide company. They can still do business similar to Ripple. They can still do business in other countries. So the Ripple XRP lawsuit and the crypto uncertainty isn't really scaring them off. The firm has a team of researchers and engineers working to study the foundations of various blockchains, including security, scalability, interoperability, and privacy of different protocols. So big news there coming from Visa, guys. Just wanted to bring that to your attention. Guys, lots of great news coming out for Ripple. Of course, the Q1 report 2023 showing us what I think we were already expecting, right? XRP utility, more on-demand liquidity usage, the more partnerships, right? Increased demand, all this stuff kind of building organically. Well, Matthew Lany speculating a bit on this, and I've got a few reasons for this. Is Ireland the next XRP corridor for instant settlements? And could Ripple possibly be eyeing Ireland as that new ODL corridor? Now, this just came out today, okay? April 28th, 2023, TransferMate receives e-money license from the Central Bank of Ireland, okay? B2B payments infrastructures provider TransferMate has secured an e-money license from the Central Bank of Ireland. Now, I also want to bring this to your attention. Crypto startup Ripple is seeking a license in Ireland to drive EU expansion. And in this article, they did mention Ripple and Circle. One of the avenues through which the firm is looking to achieve that is by working with organizations like blockchain digital payment networks Ripple and Circle, the firm behind the stablecoin USDC, to administer cross-border transactions through a pegged currency. So that in itself is an interesting connection, and I do have the article up here, guys, from June of last year. TransferMate founder sees stablecoins and B2B cross-border payments future. They do mention Ripple and they do mention Circle, but do you also remember what he said about a non-volatile pegged cryptocurrency? I did a video on this back in August. Did TransferMate founder just call XRP a non-volatile pegged cryptocurrency? Here's the interview clip with Terry Clune here from a video I did, guys, back in August. Listen to this. What I really wanted to get to was this from Wheezy at Nerd Nation Unboxed. Now, this is Terry Clune, founder of TransferMate. And listen to what he says in this clip. This to me sounds like what he's saying goes along the lines of what the World Bank said in that report stating that XRP will be a stable coin. Well, what does stable mean essentially? Non-volatile. And so Terry Clune, he's given an interview here, and it sounds as though he's calling XRP a non-volatile pegged cryptocurrency. Listen to what he says here.
Terry, I want to get your perspective once again on the interoperable domestic real-time payments network and how that compares to blockchain and crypto. Where are you seeing the similarities and differences?
Well, I suppose from a blockchain, from a crypto point of view, the main area that we see opportunity in that area isn't with volatile cryptocurrencies themselves, but is with using the blockchain as a ledger to be able to track and to know where the payment is actually at, and where everybody has transparency to be able to see that. One of the avenues, for example, for us working with, for example, Circle, who an investor in our business, Marshall Wace is also an investor in Circle. We see Circle as being a perfect opportunity where they have their US dollar stablecoin. That would be a logical progression for administering cross-border money movement, or also and also with others who are focused not in a volatile currency, but with a pegged currency, who are just focused on the money movement side of the transaction and enhancing and improving the money movement experience. They're the organizations we're looking to partner with. Ripple would be another prime example in that area.
Ripple would be another prime example in that area of a non-volatile pegged cryptocurrency, basically a company that wants to move money from point A to point B. So there you go, guys. Terry Clune, founder of TransferMate from back last summer, talking about the partnerships, the Circle and Ripple partnerships, saying he's very interested in working with both companies, in this case suggesting XRP would be that non-volatile pegged cryptocurrency, but it certainly does lend more credibility to this idea that TransferMate likely does want to work with Ripple for an on-demand liquidity corridor in the country of Ireland. Again, this article just coming out today on the heels of the Q1 report. So what do you guys think? I guess I should also remind you guys just real quickly, 1 year ago, Ripple expanding its business in Europe, they were specifically opening up an office in Dublin, and they were hiring a Web3 Ireland country director for RippleNet specifically. Ireland country manager will be responsible for the management of the Dublin office, represent Ripple externally in Ireland, liaising with regulators, key customers and partners, and drive Europe-wide strategic initiatives. Acting as a trusted advisor for Europe MD, this role requires a high level of autonomy, entrepreneurial energy, and business savvy in order to drive success for one of Ripple's international offices. The Ireland country manager will report to the MD, Europe, RippleNet. So there's the license, there's the office, there's obviously hiring these high-profile positions too in Ireland. The TransferMate connection, talking about partnering up with Ripple and Circle. More XRP utility, a robust Q1 report, more avenues being opened. Do you think Ireland will be the next on-demand liquidity corridor? Tell me down in the comments what you guys think, and please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.